You're lying in bed, lights off, phone in your hand. You weren't even planning to check your bank app. You just did. Thumb swipe, Face ID, loading spinner. And then you see it. $20,417. You blink. You check again. You do the little mental math thing where you subtract bills just to make sure this isn't some glitch. Nope. It's real. For the first time in your adult life, you're not one bad week away from panic. Your chest actually feels lighter. You think, okay, if my car explodes tomorrow, I won't die. And for about 3 days, life feels different. You walk through Target like a calm, rational adult. You don't flinch when your phone buzzes. You even start thinking dangerous thoughts like, wow, maybe I'm finally good with money. And that's when it happens. Your credit card app sends you a notification. You're pre-approved. Your bank emails you about a better savings option. Your car suddenly feels older. Your apartment feels temporary. Your brain starts whispering, you earned this. Because here's the catch nobody warns you about. Hitting $20,000 doesn't end money stress. It changes the rules of the game. The system stops ignoring you and starts nudging you, softly, politely, with rewards. And most people don't lose the money in a dramatic explosion. They lose it quietly, responsibly, one upgrade at a time. So yes, hitting $20,000 feels like winning. But unless you understand what changes next, it's also where most people hand it right back. That's what this video is about. The $20,000 rule that actually makes money problems disappear. And why most people never feel the benefit, even after they hit it. Most people treat $20,000 like a finish line. You sprint. You collapse. You look around like, so this is it? But $20,000 isn't a finish line. It's a foundation. And confusing those two is why people feel broke again within a year. Think of it like a roller coaster. The climb is terrifying. Click, click, click. Every paycheck feels like survival mode. Then you crest the top. For half a second, everything is calm. The view is great. You feel proud. And then gravity takes over. That gravity isn't you being irresponsible. It's how the system is tuned. According to Federal Reserve, nearly 40% of Americans still can't cover a $400 emergency. So when you're sitting on $20,000, you're suddenly a stable customer. Banks love stable customers. Apps love stable customers. Sales funnels feast on stable customers. Because stable people qualify. And the incentives change. Before, everything was about survival. Now it's about optimization. Better card. Better car. Better apartment. Better life. None of these decisions feel stupid. That's the trap. You don't blow the money on jet skis. You bleed it out through responsible upgrades. And then one day, you check your balance again. $11,000, $8,000, $5,200. And the stress comes back, faster than you expected, heavier than before. And you think, what's wrong with me? Nothing. That's almost everyone. The system is designed so most people never wander too far from the edge, just far enough to feel hopeful, not far enough to feel free. My name is Mike. I'm not a guru. I'm not here to sell you motivation or shame you for buying coffee. I'm just mildly obsessed with how money actually works, especially the quiet rules nobody explains. This video is for education and entertainment only. I'm not your financial advisor. I don't know your exact situation. Talk to a professional before making decisions. What I can do is show you the pattern. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Phase 1 is the grind. This is the part everyone talks about. Cutting back. Saying no. Watching the number crawl upward like it's allergic to progress. Scarcity thinking dominates here. You're careful. You're defensive. You're hyper-aware of every dollar. And that's why Phase 2 is dangerous. Phase 2 starts the moment you cross the line. Psychologically, your brain flips from protection to permission. You didn't just save money. You survived something. So your brain starts paying you back. Just this once. You deserve it. This is what money is for. At the same time, the outside world notices. Banks raise your limits. Lenders smile. Algorithms decide you're safe. This is the rich tax nobody calls a tax. Because once you're stable, the system assumes you can carry more weight, more payments, more subscriptions, more complexity. Not because it's evil, because it's profitable. The trick is that $20,000 feels like abundance, but it's still fragile. It's enough to change your options, but not enough to support a higher cost of living and protect you. So when people say, why doesn't $20,000 change anything? It's because they unknowingly used it as permission to raise the floor. And now they're running the same race, just at a higher altitude. The people who induce something boring, they don't treat $20,000 as money to use. They treat it as money to defend. Let's make this painfully simple. If $20,000 just sits there as a floor, not invested aggressively, not spent emotionally, it buys you something powerful. Time. At a boring 5% return, that's about $1,000 a year. Not exciting. But that's not the point. The point is that your life becomes cheaper. Emergencies don't become crises. Job changes become options. Bad months don't spiral. Vanguard data shows that investors who avoid panic decisions outperform the market by not doing anything, more than those who chase returns. The biggest wealth gap isn't income. It's behavior. People who keep their base intact stay invested longer. People who dip into it reset the clock. And resetting the clock is expensive. Every time you drop below your safety floor, you re-enter survival mode. And survival mode is terrible for long-term decisions. Let me tell you about Alex. Alex hits $20,000 at 32. Feels amazing. Alex upgrades the apartment. Upgrades a car. Nothing crazy. 2 years later, Alex has $6,000 and a much nicer life. That feels just as stressful. Alex didn't fail. Alex followed the script. Now meet Jordan. Jordan hits $20,000 and does something weird. Jordan sets a rule. This money does not buy lifestyle. It buys sleep. Jordan builds a second layer on top. Slow investing, boring accounts, automatic systems. 3 years later, Jordan still lives mostly the same, but the stress is gone. Same income, same world, different rules. According to Fidelity, people who automate and mentally separate their floor money are dramatically less likely to tap it, even during downturns. That's the difference. Here's the simple playbook. 1. Set a floor. $20,000 is not spending money. It's gravity control. 2. Build a growth layer on top. Automatic. Boring. Slow. 3. Create an options layer. This is where fun lives after safety. 4. Be suspicious of anyone trying to sell you comfort. Comfort is expensive. Money isn't about stuff. It's about options. And the real catch? $20,000 doesn't make you rich. It makes you free enough to stop panicking. But only if you protect it like a floor, not a finish line. That's how money problems quietly disappear.